Like many of you, have thought of leaving California. I'm born and raised in Bakersfield, and a lot of people hear that and they're like, "Oh, Bakersfield, that sucks. It's hot, it's cold, it's boring, it's dusty, it's got bad air quality, it's got all the negatives, everything that everybody complains about." Yeah, it does, but I'm happy to live here. I'm born and raised here, so. But at the same time, I I recognize all the problems that California is facing, and if you leave, you're running away from the problem. You're not standing and fighting the problem. And if you don't fight the problems and you don't start to change them, yeah, great. You no longer live in California, but that problem is going to find you sooner or later. This is I basically look at it as like a cancer, and this cancer is going to grow and it's going to metastasize and it's going to spread if you don't start to fight it. And I think one of the biggest issues and one of the main things that if able to represent you as governor, the number one thing I would be working towards is at least several of the top things. But the number one would be that people get a new sense of appreciation towards voting and a new sense of their voice being heard. And again, I understand you won't win every battle. There'll be things that you agree with, things that you disagree with. But I think having an open conversation is always going to be productive. Having a bickering fight between two parties is never going to get us anywhere. Why do you think that the parties just throw their hands in the air and the government shuts down because I'm not getting along with them and they're not getting along with me? I don't understand. You can't do that in your job. If you don't get along with Jeff because Jeff's pissing you off, you can't call your boss and be like, "I'm not coming in. You're still going to pay me, but I'm not coming in until Jeff's gone. I don't like Jeff today, so I need a week off to cooler heads." I don't understand how that's possible. All you're doing is letting your constituents down. All you're doing is failing at your job. It is a job. Anybody that thinks that because your title says senator or your title says Congress or your title says governor or president, that you're somehow better than or above your constituents, you're out of your mind. That's the reality of it. And you guys should be listening. Listen to what somebody has to say. If they don't think that way, you automatically should just go, "Well, we don't want that person. This person thinks that they're a dictator. They think that they're above me. They think that all of a sudden, if I elect them, they're going to basically, have power over me." And it couldn't be further from the truth. Whoever you elect, this is a job opportunity. What I'm doing right now is an interview. That's how I look at it. This is an interview to millions of people, and you either want to hire me or you don't, based on the idea that I can do the job and I can do it better than the next guy. And that job is to represent you, is to make your voice heard, to make sure that you feel that the vote counts. And if that's not happening, you need to fire that person and you need to go a different direction. Don't keep going down the same road thinking that that's the definition of an insanity. If you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity. And so if you keep voting in politicians or celebrities or big business, CEOs or any of that stuff, you're never going to get where you want to be. And the last Republican governor or conservative governor was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's still part of the GOP, which I think is a farce anyway. I think the party system in general is an absolute joke. Nobody's on either party lines. They are all for themselves. It is a cannibalistic idea. They'll sell each other out because there's again, the old saying is there's no honor among thieves. Well, that's why they all toss each other under the bus. And it's unfortunate because you're the one that pays for it. All of you. And I just, like I said, I feel like change has to happen. And people will be the ones to fix these problems. It's never going to be some guy. It's not going to be even me. I'm not telling you that I'm going to be some sort of savior. What I am telling you is I'm very logical. And at the same time, I think that the party system is utter garbage. If you represent either party, it means that you took money from that party or special interest, and you're now owned by that party or special interest. And therein lies why the constituents are all the ones that pay for it, because you have that crony capitalism, you have that conflict of interest. I gave you money. In the recall election, Facebook gave Newsom's campaign like $1 million. I believe I read it was $1 million, of $750,000 or $1 million. Okay, so why? Well, there's a reason. You don't give somebody $1 million without getting something in return. Okay, when was the last time you gave somebody $100, unless they were just hard up for money and they were going to get kicked out of their house, and you were like, look, out of the goodness of my heart, I'll give you some cash. You don't owe me anything. We're good. But if someone says, hey man, can I borrow some money? You're like, yeah, I'll pay you at my next paycheck. You give them $100, you're sitting there going, I want my money back. So if someone's giving somebody $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, you can be rest assured they're getting something in return on the back end. And therein lies what I'm talking about. Well, that's why I made another video. You don't have capitalism. You have a hollow shell of capitalism. Capitalism has been gutted and it's been completely rebuilt from the inside. So that way it looks like capitalism, but it's not capitalism at all. And that's something that you need to fix. You need to have representation that you actually know is fighting for you, because they are one of you. I'm just a normal person. I'm a normal guy. But I do understand that we got to fix things. And at the end of the day, the only way to fix it is through the people. And what I need all of you to do is sit here and share this. Send it to other people. Get people to recognize that you need to get away from parties and labels and all these other things and listen to what somebody has to say. And judge someone based off of the character, but judge them based off of what they actually think this is about. And what this is about is people. And it's about all of you. It's about representing the people who hire you to do the job. And that's all this is. It is an interview.